Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I'm Adeni Ajishafe. It's time to take you around the world of sports activities. To let you have a feel that Nigerian athletes are doing well when it comes to sport. Well, in para sport, that will be our first story on the show. They really did well at the Lugogo Stadium in para badminton as they competed in different categories of event, and they were able to win 13 medals, 8 gold medals for Team Nigeria at the African para badminton game that took place in Uganda. Let's start with that story. All African Para Badminton Championship. Team Nigeria doing so well. They were able to win 13 medals to top medal stable. Good one ahead of other countries that showcase their para badminton players. Nigeria was able to win this competition with 13 medals. We had 8 gold medals in that competition. Right now, they are being celebrated across Nigeria for the fact that they were able to do well at the para badminton competition. The president of that federation, Francis Obi, celebrating all the team that participated in that competition there. Well, from the way it says, the likes of Chigozie, who really was outstanding in that particular championship, now she's so happy for the fact that she was able to win so many medals for Nigeria in para badminton. As we always tell you, that Nigeria can thrive in any sport as long as they have access to facilities and supported by necessary funding. They will do well and thrive in different sports that they find themselves right now. Talking about all African badminton competition there. Well, for the way it is, Nigeria are still really celebrating them, because this is not football that is the beautiful bride. This is para badminton, and we did well in Uganda, precisely at Lugogo Stadium, where they really competed in different categories of event, and we are celebrating them. We always do that for the fact that they've done well when it comes to this particular sport, and we just have to appreciate what they've done in para badminton. Well, we move away from para badminton as we also give you updates concerning basketball. 2023 Women Afrobasket, NBBF, Nigerian Basketball Federation, invites 20 players to camp. Nigeria will be camping ahead of the competition to get them to at least get all the ladies to be at their best and get the best for Nigeria before they jet out to compete at the Afrobasket in Kigali, Rwanda. Let's look at the players that have been invited by NBBF, Nigerian Basketball Federation. We have Toyosi Abiola there, who actually plays for Eastern Michigan University in USA. Tommy Taiwo of Texas Christian University USA. Onaibe Believe Jessica, who plays in Benin Republic. Aspak team there. Teresa Ebiaga for First Bank Nigeria. Okoro Ifunaya, who plays for Kenyan team. You have Sarah Ogoke, Ferroviario in Mozambique. Hemban Wandu with MFM Nigeria. You have Elizabeth Balogun, who plays for Duke Blue Devils in the USA. Miriam Olawoyin, Chipola College in USA. Adiyeye Adebola, Kentucky Wildcat in the USA. Amanda Okoduba, she actually played a trade for Grindavich in Iceland. Ami Okoronko, who plays for Halcones in Mexico. You have Leaks Dixon of Connecticut Women National Basketball League there in USA. Mujanatu Musalina, who plays for First Bank Nigeria. Palace Akpana, Campo Brasil of Italy. Akaraigwe Ikem Uwa for Nigerian Customs basketball team. Mark Dangozu Teresa of First Bank, Olawi Adenike Olayemi of P University in Hungary, Lauren Ebo of Notre Dame in USA, and Blessing Ejiofor of Western Virginia University in USA. They are going to be coached by newly appointed coach Rena Wakama, to be assisted by Samson Sotuminu, Julie Negedu, Prince Izela. You have Aisha Mohammed as the player development coach there. All of them are working together to see our Nigerian team who participate in that competition. We won it back-to-back 3 times, and we want to go for the 4th one. From the way it is, our ladies are about to ready, although they'll be in camp ahead of this, and these 20 players will be fighting hard to represent Nigeria in Kigali. Well, for the Afrobasket, a big one there, because really a lot of countries are trying to see how they can up their game against Nigeria. But for our ladies who have done it 3 times in a row, they want to also do it, despite the fact that they have been faced with a lot of issues that has to do with funding, administrative issues and all that. But still, the ladies are not giving up. They believe they can meet up with this particular competition. Afrobasket is coming up, and right now 20 players have been called to represent Nigeria in that competition there. While we're talking about that, it's good to also look at the fact that Nigerian Basketball Federation will be having issues, but the ladies are not giving up. They believe they can do this. Those that have been given the invitation are ready to perform in this competition there. Hopefully, they will do well over there at the Women Afrobasket competition. We're still waiting to join Abdulgafar Oladimeji. They'll be joining us from Kano, but also talk about the NLO Youth League, where we're talking about the Youth League is ongoing across Nigeria in different centers, different category of football, talented players showcasing their talent for Nigeria. Well, for their different clubs in Nigeria, rather. But a good one for the fact that they are battle ready to fight for honors in different locations in Nigeria. We've been talking with in different sports in Nigeria. We talk about badminton and also basketball, where Nigeria ladies, the Tigress, are battle ready to compete and fight for the 4th edition of winning this back-to-back. Right now, we are being joined by Abdulgafar Oladimeji. Good to have you on the show, Abdulgafar. Okay, thank you so much for joining us from Kano. We talked about All-African Para Badminton before you join us, where Team Nigeria did well by topping the table there, the medal table, with 13 different medals. We had 8 gold medals there, and this is not football, this is Para Badminton. In fact, quietly, they traveled to Uganda, and really, now they are back with so much noise, being the fact that they topped the medal table there. How is it, this particular topic to you, Abdulgafar?
Well, I must commend you first and foremost for having an eye and other reporters who have been able to give so much attention to this para team that traveled all the way to Kampala, where they made Nigeria proud. You can really see, first and foremost, I must state categorically that one of the biggest challenges we're having in modern day sports journalism is like people talk more of football, football, football. When people go out there in other sports to make Nigeria proud, well, journalists hardly pay attention to them. It's like we are all football bias. So I think first and foremost, for some section of the media to bring this to the fore, I think it's commendable. Well, for para sports generally, not just badminton, Nigeria para teams have been doing very very well since inception. In the last over close to 2 decades, when you go and look at the records, you find out that if there's any team that has been consistent in bringing glory to Nigeria, it's the para teams. Is it the para soccer, para weightlifting, para tennis, para athletics, para badminton? Now you find out that in any competition they represent, they fly the green and white colors of Nigeria. They bring pride to Nigeria. They hardly come back home empty handed, even on the continental scene, even on the global scene. So I think they need to be commended for the efforts they did put in Kampala. But majorly, what is lacking now is this. One, I think there's a need for sports authorities to really look at how we can encourage the para sports in Nigeria by providing them like with adequate facilities. One, two, quality coaching education. Yeah, I think there's more challenge in the area of quality para coach education. If the coaches, with the little they have been given, have been able to, the production output has been this high in winning laurels in all major competitions. If we advance the coaching technology in para sports, I think we'll be able to do more. And then there's also the issue of, aside from facilities, aside from coaching, there's the need to really motivate these athletes. You find out that we are talking about it in the media, like in other sports, like we have seen, particularly in football. If this were to be football, those athletes, you see their state governors running after them, trying to identify with them, trying to use them as a brand to brand their image. When it comes to, I don't know why there isn't this much interest. So I think, but it has to start from somewhere. So the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports and their sporting association should be able to do more to attract people to identify with para soccer as a brand that can also be
Good morning there, Abdulgafar. Now let's talk about basketball. Just yesterday or recently, MBBF released 20 players that are being camped ahead of the Afrobasket. Although we know that issues surrounding that particular team, players opting out, and also issues of funding, coaching, administrative-wise, a lot of issues. But from the way it says, this is the fourth. They are going for the fourth. They won it back-to-back 3 times. Can they do it now, despite all these issues surrounding that squad?
Yes, you have said it all. They won it back to back. You have said it all. They won it back to back. The Nigerian women's basketball team has been very, very consistent on the continent. We have a lot good of hands out there in the US, Hungary, and other parts of the world, and even in our own league back home. But like you said, challenges all the time. And so far, these challenges have refused to go. So psychologically, you have reasons to nurture to nurse fears that these problems might affect their psychological, their mental state, particularly when you are giving your best and it's like one person well there is not really getting it right to create the right atmosphere for you to do the right thing. It can be quite challenging in sports, particularly when you understand the importance of psychology in sports. So I think this is a challenge. We cannot pretend that it does not exist, but there's always this toughness in an average Nigerian athlete that you cannot always take away from our athletes. The advantage of an average Nigerian athlete is that mental toughness. Most of the things happening around us, you find out that if it were to be some of those other countries, I don't want to mention specifically any countries, in some other climes, it wouldn't have been this bit good like it is with us. So I think up to now we should need to ask questions. What is wrong? I don't know the crisis from the era of Tijani and Ahmadu Gida, and till date you still find out that people thought initially it was about these 2 personalities, that is Tijani and Kida. But later on, we find out that even when Tijani Umar has decided to go with his life somewhere in the civil service, and Kida is there, we still find out that there are crises here and there. So I think the question we should begin to ask is that what is it that is supposed to be done that is not being done? What is the problem? Although sometimes, like they say, tell me your country, I'll tell you your sports. So I think this is not disassociated with some of the challenges we face as a nation, because sports is still part of Nigerian society. So, but for basketball, it is worrisome that at a time where you think there should be some improved advancement in the area of administration, network, or area of coaching, the area of facility, nothing seems to be happening. So I think there's the need to be worried, that there is need for those responsible to begin to understand that failure to really get things going, it's one precedence that posterity will judge them.
Well, we've been talking concerning MBBF inviting 20 players to come there. Abdulgafar Oladimeji has been talking with us from Kano. Let's talk about your league now. Let me call it your league. NLO, Nationwide League One. As a media coordinator, we need updates concerning. Let's focus on NLO Youth League. It's ongoing, different centers across Nigeria. And I'm sure you have a lot of updates for us. Quickly, let's have this.
Very good. The league has kicked off like very much league. Like one of the first innovations of the attempt to really improve the development of our football is the management of the league. Either the chief operating officer Shologuno was able to now rebrand the second division NLO league as youth league, meaning players that are above the ages of 19 cannot play in this league. For the first time, I will begin to say in Nigeria, we are having a truly youth league, which is what obtains in other climes, where you play age grade football at the national level. So presently, as I speak to you, there are centers spread across the country. The FC Ebede Stadium, the Legacy Pitch in Lagos, in Yenagoa, in Kano, in Katsina, in Bauchi. All these places, centers are there, and the league is ongoing, exception of I think Casina that is about to kick off in the next couple of days. So this one is a very good one for the development of our football. For those who truly understand what development of football is having a U19 league. And you can see the league with the NLO has been able to put in place measures to really make sure that there's this age compliance, since we all know very well what the challenges are that are associated with our football in the areas of age. And we've been able to take care of what is called the age relative effect. You find this is a very big problem in youth football. And for anybody that has a vision of what a true youth football development is all about, you'll be able to understand how to take care of age related. So you don't just talk about coming to play under 19, but you'll be able to take care of age related effects. We've been able to take care of that in NLO. And then what other measures do we have in place? Like players who don't just come and fill in licenses and say, I'm 19 years, I'm 18. No, we need a proof. The official means of identification has to be submitted, align that will align with the age you claim to be. One, like for example, you submit your international passport, driver's license, national identity card, especially. I think which we said minimum at least you must provide the NLO officials with your means of national identification number, and then with that will be able to verify if truly the information you provided is correct. And then there's going to be physical verification too. That's to tell you how strict the NLO is about the U19 league. At the center, the NLO coordinator there will liaise with the Football Association and other officials on ground to take a physical look at these players. And so you can see not just the being able to, not just that you tendered a means of identification, but no, we should also verify it physically to say no, this or that. We all know the system, so we know that people might try to cut corners here and there sometimes, which we should not pretend this is not true, this is true. So at least with this, we've been able to start from somewhere. And don't forget the license itself. Now NNO has a database of these players. So by next season, the same players cannot come back the way we used to know it. We've seen players playing with almost the same age for over 3-4 years in the same age competition. This is the truth. Let us not pretend about it. Like it's the more we admit that we have these problems and begin to address them, the better for our football. And I think this is what NLO has been able to come to terms with, that yes, we have these problems. Let us begin to address them. So NLO is going to have a database of these players, like the improvement you have seen from the licensing. Like the NLO license today, as I speak to you, if you take your back scanner and snap the license, it takes you directly to the NLO database or website where the information of the player appears. During the NLO Division 1, you find out that we're able to take care of a lot of issue of forgery, a lot of issue of attempts to manipulate the process. Where most people who tried to manipulate the process, they were discovered because the licenses are so fortified. They are digitally fortified. You cannot just manipulate them. Take the license of the NLO, scan the sticker on it. Once the players have been registered on the photograph, there's a sticker on that license. Use your bar scanner to scan the license. It takes you to the database. So if the player is different from the player that was registered for the league, immediately, so you don't even need anybody to do that for you. You do it yourself, and then it's so transparent, it's so straightforward. So these measures are in place to take care of any circumstance that will subvert the process, the progress that we are trying to make in area of the development of the game. So with this arrangement in place, by next year, if you are over 19, you are over 19, you can't come back and play in the NLO. Goodbye. Find your way somewhere in the professional, or go play professional. And if not, if you still, there are the market is so big. Go and become a coach, become a sports journalist like Akin Shafe, become an administrator, become a sports football doctor, become a football scout. There's nothing wrong about that. And another good thing about the NLO Youth Under 19 this time, Akin Shafe, is we have deployed football scouts, professional football scouts have been sent out by NLO to some centers, not all the centers, to some centers. Yes, that's all. This is what we want to change. When you say youth league, it is a ground where products are being discovered, potentials to be discovered for future use. So there are scouts, and let me just tell you, we have scouts being assigned to Elede Stadium in Shagamu. We have a scout stationed in Legacy Pitch in Lagos. We have a scout stationed in Buhari Center in Abuja, and we have a scout that have been assigned to that. Just starting point. We're just starting. For the first time, NLO, the Nigerian League, has introduced the scouting unit. We are professional scouts. It's not about somebody you don't know. You must be licensed. Those scouts will require education to practice as scouts engaged by the LLO scouting unit, the likes of Ogula, Nofala, Kolufemi, the likes of Bumiana, and others have engaged. So at the LLO, these players will create a database for them, and we have to some partners just across the country and in overseas to see how when these are they can be linked up to these clubs, and their potentials will be pronounced to these clubs and international scouts. And then also the NFF technical department, this makes it easy for them when they are looking for certain category of players. All they need to do is NLO is going to supply them with this bank, or the bank of this of the information, technical information of the players. We have the report sheet or template that's being used by the scouts. So at the end, it's being sent to NFF, the technical department. It makes their job easier. It helps them. So that's how the system works. So I think this is another innovation by NLF, and this will encourage the players to do more. So encourage the coaches to do more.
Good one there. Well, it shows that NLO really know what they are doing, appointing you as the media coordinator of that league. You've been able to give at least a vivid imagination concerning what is happening concerning that league there. Well, data of this player, NLO Youth League, is really instant. If you want to get it, all you need to do is just to follow the process. A good one there. NLO Youth League is ongoing across Nigeria in different centers, and we've been talking with the media coordinator, Abdulgafar Oladimeji, joining us from Kano. Two more stories with you before we actually allow you to go. Abdulgafar, NFF president charges newly constituted boards with improved league mandate. That's another topic we're looking at. They are just setting up. They just set up the board members of all the NNL, NLO, not forgetting the NWFL. And right now, we look at that story. Nigerian Football Federation president, that's Ibrahim Gusso, really charging them to make sure they improve on the league, because if you have a very good league running, in fact, we have one of the best players that represent Nigeria in different competitions across the world. Now, looking at this, NFL president charging the newly constituted board members, I think it's an improved, to have an improved league. That's a good one, a clarion call to the board members.
Well, Akishafe, I think I must be very honest with you. One, appointing the board, it's in line with the laws. It does not violate any law, so it is the right thing to do. Though some may have their reservations about this, but I think there's nothing wrong with that. You need people to make policies. Don't forget, like, those in charge of the leagues, like particularly the NNL and the NLO, are chief operating officers. So you need a board to make policies. This is very important, one. But two, I about the personality of those that have been assigned to run this league. One, like the NLO chief executive officer in the person of Hassan Garo, is a homeboy here in Kano. I know him very well. And a private level, I've been able to speak to him and tell him one or two things, advise him on how to give his best. And the chairman, I've digged in enough to really know that, yes, I've been told that he's a homeboy too. He's not a stranger to the system at all. And he's somebody that has a wealth of experience that can be brought on board. How they'll be able to get themselves to work together is very important if the usual Nigerian factor will not come to play. Already NLO is stable, so I think the chairman and the chief executive officer, my friend Hassan Garo, are coming home to a very conducive atmosphere where, if they really settle down to work with the chief operating officer Shola Ogunowo and his team at the NLO, I think they will be able to deliver on the mandate that has been given to them by Alhaji Ibrahim Gusso-led NFF. And then talking about the Nigerian Women Football League, right? Nkechi be my own sister, also a very good friend and big sister. We've spoken, and I see the spirit in her. I've known her very well to be particularly somebody who is very good at sports marketing. And I think particularly the Nigerian Women Football League will need expertise in the area of marketing to really attract good sponsorship. Because if you see, even at the World Cup, Akishafe, you see what is happening at the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. As of yesterday, there were campaigns. Our women are asking for better package. They are begging for to be better remunerated, and if possible, something close to what the men footballers are really earning. So you can see there's the yarn and there's the clamor for an improved revenue generation in women football, so that the players can earn better, so that development programs can be better funded. So I think with Nkechi Obi, with somebody who understands the private sector very, very well in the area of sports marketing and funding, I think the Nigerian Women Football League should be able to do well.
Well, good morning there, Abdulgafar Oladimeji. You just have to appreciate the fact that you joined us from Kano. Really, you've done well. We want to appreciate you for joining. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akishafe, and thank you for. It's good to be. It's my. I think I've been featuring Not Life, and to interest our viewers to know that Daily Trust was one of those areas where I made my mark.
Thank you so much, Abdulgafar. Okay, good morning there. We just spoke with Abdulgafar Oladimeji on the show. He was talking to us concerning the NLO Youth League and also the NFF, at least incorporating the new board members into place. Now, quickly before we go, let's run through some transfer story. Chelsea, let's start from home. Super Eagles midfielder Kelechi Nwakali joined Portuguese Dtigress on a 3-year deal from Ponferradina, a Spanish team where he used to play. Right now, he's joining on a 3-year deal there. Good one for Nwakali. Hopefully, he will get his act together. A former player of Arsenal. Chelsea to improve bid of more than £70 million for Brighton midfielder Moses Caicedo. As a player they've been looking for. They want to sign him, and right now, they want to up their bid to £70 million for the Ecuadorian player. Then Leeds United agreed deal with Chelsea to sign defender Ethan Ampadu for £7 million plus add-ons. They want to get him there. Well, Nottingham Forest in talks with Manchester United over a permanent day for goalkeeper Dean Henderson. Those are the transfer stories we just have for you quickly on the show. Before we wrap it up, thank you so much for joining us on the show 360 Sport on Trust TV. I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.